run not not an hour and a half ago. So feeling a little winded from that. Not to mention it was running in the heat, in the sun for most of it. So
Is something chasing you, Arthur? Because this is the only scenario that makes sense. Something must have been big. I'm kidding. I know you like to run. It's fine.
well, I mean, I suppose the only thing that was chasing me was my insecurities.
I am sorry. I tried to make a joke.
Hey, I was making a joke too.
I know.
Last time with the Whims of Fate, uh, the party, after traveling for many weeks, finally reached the Kimry camp and after catching everyone up, Rada pulled Erden away to have a private conversation with him about her feeling like she is neglecting her own personal quest, for lack of a better term. Um, and Erden suggested using sending on the people that you want to find, of which only one person responded, and the other person she hit a wall with. Magically, literally? Taking this as a sign that her parents are possibly alive, she brought this up with the rest of the party, saying that she really wants to do this, but she is not pressuring anyone to do it. Um, and basically saying that she'll want to know eventually what people want to do in regards to this, whether they want to stay here and help the Kimry or the Pendragon Rebellion, or help her with finding her lost family. And this week with the Whims of Fate.
Okay. Was there anything anyone else wanted to do during the supper or afterwards? Or are you guys good with just starting up the next day?
I think we can start it the next day.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I want Ern to send a quick message to his sister.
Okay. Did I ask what this message is?
As was just, hey, I'm still alive. Hope you're doing well.
All right.
Otherwise, yeah, that's it.
All right, cool. So, when you wake up the next day, hang on. Let's find out.
Did Uther go to his meeting?
Or did the meeting come to him to make sure he didn't get out of it?
Dang, this is determining what the weather's like.
Maybe it's to find out if the supply train showed up.
We're waiting for it?
I don't know.
All right, I gotta get more in. Okay. Can someone roll a D100? Or I guess Percentage die. Sorry.
We have a 46.
All right, looks like it's cleared up today.
Yay.
Woo!
There's a bit of wind. It's kind of in that spring or fall weather where it's like cold in the morning, but then by afternoon you don't want to wear your jacket anymore, and then it's cold again in the evening and you need your jacket back on. Right, that kind of weather. And of course, yeah, anywhere. Or like the moment the wind picks up, you're like, the sun's out, it shouldn't be this cold. That kind of thing. So it has cleared up. It's not raining anymore, no clouds. But it is kind of chilly. You get a message back, Erden. It's like, I'm glad you made it back alive. Did you have to send the message in the middle of the night?
I don't know. Probably would have sent that like mid-afternoon to maybe evening.
But it might not be in the under.
Yeah, I was just like, okay.
Egypt and the British Isles also might be in a different time zone.
Yep.
Likely.
I mean, they are.
Yeah. Even if they were actually in Egypt. Chad got up pretty early and he's already back in the armory.
Who did?
Chad.
Gotcha. Okay, that's probably not as early a riser as Cadmus, but she will be her usual jubilant self by the time she gets there. And she's earlier than she would usually be because she's trying to be better about going to bed at reasonable hours.
Excellent.
Okay, so you just checking my phone using the world clock. UK and Egypt are off by an hour. However, Egypt and Italy are also in the same time zone, while Greece is an hour ahead of Egypt.
That is so cool.
That geography does not make sense.
Nope.
That would make sense to me.
You
Maybe it has,
definitely have
something to
space
do
to
with
do
daylight
similar
saving
things.
time.
Greece is further east than Italy is, so that makes sense.
But isn't
Huh?
Greece like directly north of Egypt?
Yeah, good point.
Perhaps that has something to do with daylight saving time.
I didn't think the rest of the world did daylight savings time.
Oh no,
I thought that was. Do they?
Hmm?
Oh. Why do
It's
we
a bit
talk?
spotty.
Huh. So what? Greece doesn't? They're like Arizona for the rest of the world.
Sorry, I just love the comparison from Greece and Arizona.
Physically, they are very, very different. One gets a little bit more water.
It looks
And
like
one-
most of Europe also does daylight savings time, as well as Egypt. Not Greece. No, wait, that's Turkey. Yeah, most of Egypt, most of North America.
And
Well, the most North America that isn't Central America.
Europe.
Then Egypt. And New Zealand and Southeast Australia.
Well, I imagine that the closer you get to the equator, the harder it would be to justify daylight savings because your daylight's not going to change much.
Yeah.
And Chile.
Okay.
So basically, it's a North America and Europe thing with like one random exception for every continent. But Asia doesn't believe in daylight savings time.
Thank goodness someone figured that out.
Oh man. I mean, the only ones I can find that anywhere useful for is like Alaska or like Northwestern Territories, Siberia, Antarctica, where the sun does disappear for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Like, attempt to hold on to as much sunlight as you can.
Russia doesn't
For,
even do daylight savings time, which is, like all of the Asian North.
Basically, all of the North does daylight savings time except for the North that is Russia. Like everything else north.
Also, whichever province is east of Alaska doesn't observe daylight savings time.
the Northwest Territories?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Weird.
I mean, to be fair,
Northern
there are
Ireland.
people who live there. What are you doing?
Being Albus.
Actually, a bunch of Asia used to use daylight saving time, but looks like have since abandoned it.
I know you're trying to get in my lap. I don't need you nor want you there. Okay.
Also, maybe Alberta?
I would
No,
think Alberta.
It's the one in
She's
the
right.
dead center on the border of US and Canada.
That's
No.
not-
Saskatchewan.
Not Alberta, it's the next one east. Is it Ontario?
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
Saskatchewan doesn't either.
Is Saskatchewan the one next to Alberta?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks from this map. It looks like Saskatchewan doesn't either.
Toronto's further east.
This
right?
one's
I mean, not Toronto. Ontario's further east, right?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
both Toronto and Ontario are both
Oh,
over here.
Toronto's in Ontario, isn't it?
Because this one right here, that's Alberta. Alberta's right above Montana.
It was like, it's British Columbia. I know Alberta is north of Montana,
Mm-hmm.
but there's another one as well, and I can't remember which one is which.
Saskatchewan. It was really funny. I met some people from Saskatchewan once. And I was like, oh, you're from Saskatchewan. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're like the first American who's ever said that right to us. And I was like, it's not that hard. It's not a difficult word.
There's a lot of other words that we have that are far more difficult.
Yeah, so it looks
And
like
some that are far easier.
Saskatchewan and Yukon Territory don't use DST.
The Yukon. Anyway. Fun facts. Okay.
Now back to something completely
Madness
different.
isn't up and in the armory. It is not up as early, but happy to get to work when she gets to the armory. Right?
Yes.
Mini recap.
Of course, that's where Adea's going. There's work to be done and a sword to make.
Did you at least get something to eat?
Maybe.
That's the thing. That eye roll says no.
I'm trying to think if Adea would have bothered to get food or if she would have gone straight there.
She would have gone
If
straight
you
there.
had to
I guess
think
it
about
depends
it,
on
no,
how
you
low
didn't.
effort getting food would have been.
Idea, if you had to think about it, you didn't.
I kind of honestly feel like it's probably if it was low effort, she did, but if she felt like she had to do a lot of work, she totally didn't.
Find out. Adea, high or low?
Hi.
No, she did not. That was a 1. She absolutely did not.
I love that it was at that one.
Yeah, the food tent is in the other direction, and the wind is blowing in the way that the smell would never reach you.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll see if she notices later. What are the rest of you doing?
Going to get breakfast. Like, seriously.
Fair enough.
And I'm probably trying to find Leoflid or somebody else that I can actually talk to.
Oh, that'll be easy enough. Leoflid's an early riser. She'll be there.
Oh, good.
So
I'm just sitting here because it's like,
she'll be there
I
with.
ain't no Shannon. Other than my own party, there's like very few people I can talk to.
She'll be there with Will, who's looking particularly grumpy.
Will's particularly grumpy.
Man, what happened to the Merlin after Taliesin? It's just a bunch of grumps.
I know. It may be that Will is not a morning person, and Leoflid may have forced him. And he is just like, I am not awake. Stop talking to me. That kind of grumpy, not I'm a genuinely grumpy person, just a.
Which is what Emrys is.
Except when he's with his family. He's very sweet when he's with his family. He just hates being put in charge.
Yes, the leader who does not want to be a leader in any possible way. Well, I'm going into the breakfast tent and getting food and sitting down next to Leoflid, and I'll very cautiously say good morning to Will.
He
Mainly
just
because I can't remember if he can understand me, so.
The best form of caution in this case may be to drop the good on morning.
This is Brina we're talking about. You really expect her to drop a good morning?
I have some coworkers who do that.
They just say
It's not
morning.
good morning, it's just morning.
Yeah, this is Brina. She's saying good morning to Will, but trying to not be like overly chipper. Just nice. Of course, I can't remember if Will can even understand me, so like most of the hesitancy and like the lack of brilliance is not just because I've noticed that he doesn't seem like a morning person, but also the fact that it's like, well, we're gonna try because I can't remember if he knows what I'm talking about. So
yes. Did you get
Just-
what do you mean? Do you wish me a good morning, or do you mean that this is a good morning whether I want
like
to
it
or
or not.
or simply that this is a morning to be good on?
Yes.
Oh wait, yeah. Whether I want or that you
Too much morning talk.
or that is a morning to
Can you hear us now, Jen?
Nope.
Nope. Hello.
Sorry. It was like you guys were freezing and skipping, so I was trying to figure out what was going on, and then I tried to get back on, and it wouldn't let me get back on, so I just restarted the whole program.
Like you popped in and didn't say anything, and then popped back out again. So
Yeah, that's what happened. It wouldn't actually let me do anything. It closed itself, and I was like, okay.
well, and you had actually been freezing and stuttering before you hopped off. So glad to have you back. Did you miss anything of what I said?
All of it.
Okay. So I head into the breakfast tent and see Leoflid and Will. I grab my food and sit down next to them and wish them a good morning. And when I say good morning to Will, I am taking into account that he doesn't look like a morning person, but I'm not trying to be overly chipper, but I'm also insecure because I can't remember if he can speak Fae, so I don't know if he actually knows what I'm saying. So the tone of my voice is a little bit more hesitant, but not just because I notice he's not a morning person.
He just kind of like he's was picking at his food, and then he just looks over and he's like, "Yeah, morning," and all that in Fae.
And I just like, because I'm like, oh, okay. He does speak Fey. Okay. I couldn't remember. What is for breakfast, by the way? I'm assuming there's some sort of bread. Because bread.
It looks like
More like
leftover
oh,
from whatever they had the day before. So yeah, bread. It's a little stale now. A little bit of cheese. Some fruit. Looks like grapes.
look, food that I've actually encountered before. Right, I'm just waiting for Prince Urine to whip out haggis at some point and just having Brina have to experience that.
It'll be delicious.
It's just a wee
Yeah.
bit of a sheep's stomach.
It's funny because often when people like sometimes they'll do things at church where they're like, we're gonna do a family home evening where we share recipes that would have come from your heritage, and I'm like, you really do not want me to bring anything from my heritage. It's not good. I'll probably be safe with the French food, but I'm really afraid to bring anything from that little island because it's tasteless or just plain disgusting. And Denmark's
Fork?
not tasteless, but still
Fork?
kind of gross.
Bitte?
Yeah, I'd probably be okay with the French part, but I'm the UK, so predominantly. Though I do have some German in me as well, so
There you
seems
go.
like a
Strudel.
oh yeah, you make a very good point, Strudel.
Yeah, I tried to make German Eikuchen once. Didn't turn out.
Oh,
well.
I don't know. I know that I tried to make some traditional Irish food for St. Patrick's Day because I was like, hey, I'm Irish. We should do this. Soda bread's gross, guys. I don't know why they make such a big deal out of it. It's gross.
I haven't tried it. I'm Irish
It's
too.
so dry. And like it's just the way the recipe is. Like it's a dry bread and it tastes kind of like baking soda.
Hmm.
Yeah, not great.
Hey,
Don't
one thing the Scottish do have going for them though, shortbread.
Oh yeah,
I will.
love making.
Yeah, that and spades. I love that stuff.
But I can do without everything else. Anyway, Leoflin says good morning back, and she's like, don't mind him. He's just annoyed he has to be up this early because there's like a meeting or something he has to go to.
That makes sense. I can still wish him a good morning, and hopefully his meeting goes well.
He just kind of snorts, but doesn't say anything. He's like, right.
That meeting totally isn't our fault, not at all.
No, it's not. It's not our fault. It's Erden's fault.
We claim Erden, so it's technically
You can carry that burden.
He belongs to us, therefore we all take the blame. Womp womp. All right. What are the other two doing? Or
Having a
yesterday,
very good morning.
Rada, apart from getting breakfast, is going to use a sending on her brother, basically saying, "How dare you speak to your older sister in such a tone? I was put asleep for 2 years."
Okay. As I was saying, I could also ask what Amor is doing since he's technically there too.
Oh yeah. Um, hopes he'd be tending to his normal duties, which might involve being at breakfast in the morning, because I don't know if he's going to be at this meeting that Uther is at, or if he'll hear, or he'll get the flow down from Garlois later, but Amber's probably much more of an early riser than Adea is anyway, so
Probably.
yeah. Amber is much better about these things. He, of course, will get breakfast, and he'll probably be here right now.
Excellent. You're welcome to join Brina and Will and Leofflin if you want. Or
Yeah.
whoever else happens to be there. I'm sure some of his men are.
Yeah, I'll definitely come join party members if they are there. Amber or Will.
It's like
Leofflin will
he's
just
one of
like
us.
the finger will and Erden.
He'll probably show up maybe like 45 minutes later, not because he necessarily slept in, but because he did a whole jog around the camp. It's like doing some morning exercise.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
I guess we know who the jock is.
I'm Van Geek. I'm assuming that Emerald's just kind of hanging out with Rena. Almost. Is that accurate?
Actually, no. Emerald is following Rada.
Okay.
And I will say at first, Rada, you don't really you didn't really notice. Like you have a high perception, but then it was suddenly like, oh, it is just Emerald. There's nobody else in the group following you, and Emerald's just looking up at you with these big pig eyes.
Yeah, it's at times like these where I wish I had Brina's ability to speak with animals. Unfortunately, I take more after Mulan than any other Disney princess.
She still spoke to Mushu, but and she spoke to her horse. Granted, the horse didn't talk back, so you make a point.
Ah. And well, I guess Tong is Mushu in this case.
I can see straight through that armor of yours.
Right. Dishonor. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow. Dishonor on your whole thing. Sorry, you're not going to be able to say that quote not having finished it. I love that movie too much.
Oh.
So she goes about her. Well, Rada tries to go through her daily routine, but like it's like she stops partway through certain parts and remembers that Artemis is no longer alive. So she like, okay, now I serve Lou now. What did I have to do again? Let me check my notes.
I'll say while you're trying to go through your daily routine, just like if you were to have a pet, Everald is underfoot. She just like wants to see what you're doing, and she's sticking her nose in things, and she's like, "Whoa, what's this?" Tripping over her.
So this is why you never let out us to have pets. Yeah, she just stumbles through her daily routine, goes to breakfast, and well, awaits her brother's response if he has any. She's not going to expect anything because siblings, but he might not. She'll be nearby, but she won't be necessarily with because she wants to give her companions space to think.
Cool. Everald is right there with you. She's like, oh, we're gonna go get breakfast. All right.
I'll probably
I
like look around the breakfast tent and look at Leophilus like, did you see Udea this morning?
no, not at all. I didn't see Cadmus either.
Did either of them have eaten?
Huh?
Do you think either of them have eaten?
Absolutely not.
Dea probably shows up at the forge about the same time that Eridan gets to breakfast. So,
Honestly, half the time I have to bring food to Cadmus and shove it down his throat to make sure he doesn't die.
I have a feeling I might have to do the same for Udea.
Well, we can tag
I'll
team.
just shove it down her throat though. I'll just have to make her stop long enough to eat it.
Eventually, they have to get hungry.
Yeah, but by then, with the work that they do, I don't want them being distracted and potentially hurting themselves. By being distracted, thinking of how their stomach is all of a sudden an angry monster.
That's fair. Ugh. All right. I'll say, Erden, you will show up at the breakfast tent right about the time that Gorlois does too. He kind of looks you up and down. He's like, already working up a sweat? What, are you worried?
What? No, you can never skip leg day. With
You
how much
are-
stuff I'm carrying, it's a great workout. He only has his pack on, not like his full armor or something.
I mean, that's fair. That's more dedication than I feel I have the energy for right now.
Oh, have you not eaten yet?
No.
Let's get some together.
Sounds good. And I'll say
I'll wait
probably
as they come in. 'Cause,
it's
I
been
mean,
about 5 minutes. Leophil's probably gathering food to take to Cadmus at this point.
I'm gonna be joining her in that because I have a feeling I probably will not be needed at this meeting.
It looks like Will is finally starting to wake up.
Oh, good.
good for him.
He's trying very hard to have a conversation with Amror. He views you as normal.
Normal. Emperor will probably be very happy to have a conversation back.
It's probably some tactical thing where it's like, well, now that the mud is clearing up, hopefully we can get back to like getting people trained without, breaking an ankle potentially.
That definitely be a big deal, especially some of our trainees really need all the help they can get.
You gotta admit, I mean, they've improved. Now the ones who,
Ones that are still here.
the new ones that have just come of age and have joined us, they could use some help.
Yes. Well, hopefully they'll be better about getting their form in place with less mud to slip on.
Yeah, definitely. But hopefully we don't have to fight anyone anytime soon.
Yes.
Oh, Will, Amror. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, good morning, people. Oh, it's you.
Despite everything, it is me.
Haven't you died yet?
Sorry, I didn't catch that one.
You died yet?
No, that seems to be something remarkably difficult to achieve.
That's a shame.
Is his left leg still there? If so, he's still alive.
Just the left leg. If he loses the right leg, meh. Totally a flesh wound.
Maybe
Hey,
it's a
that's
shame.
hurtable. I have to treat it if he
Fighters
loses
who've
it.
been to the camp recently.
Oh man.
I just says bowl down, everything. Just like, I see you're just as chipper as every other morning I've met you.
Carlos will sit down and he's just like, "Good morning, Will." He's just like,
Dorlo likes to play it up.
"Oh yeah."
I have a feeling like Cleophilid and I have like gathered the food for Cadmus and Dan, like we're walking past this. If we see like if this is something that we do observe, Brina's just gonna like pat Will on the shoulder. It's like, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Being discreet. Look, one day, Will, you're just gonna realize that when we're out in the field like this, we have to get up early and we have to be as chipper as we can. Otherwise, we bring down the morale of the camp. So he reaches over and just like pulls his lips. You gotta smile.
I have a feeling that Will is now looking at it with something akin to murder in his eyes.
If he didn't still have like bags under his eyes, maybe, but he just kind of looks like a little,
I hate you.
yeah, like, look on my face. Just because sometimes we are friends does not mean I want you to touch me.
Well, only sometimes you're friends? Wow.
He's an acquired taste, Gorlois. Even a grain needs her own time.
Too hard. It's important that we keep whatever morale we have left.
Did Will react at all when I patted him on the shoulder as I walked past?
Not really. I mean, like, he doesn't really have a moment to acknowledge you because Gorlois is like attacking him.
Yeah.
He's just like Leoflid's just leading you out, like, just leave the menfolk to do whatever they're doing.
Well, like I don't think that I wasn't necessarily like waiting to see if he responds or anything like that. It was more just wanting to know if he responded as it happened.
Yeah, no, I didn't think you were waiting. She's just like, I know you're trying to help, but it'll play out how it plays out.
I know, but at least when I said good morning, I was trying to be considerate. I couldn't remember if he spoke Fae.
And as you're heading, oh yeah, I mean he speaks all kinds of languages. Isn't that your pig?
Wait, what?
Isn't that your pig over there with your friend?
Yeah, that's Emerald. She's I can't call her mine necessarily. She technically is more fond of George. Why? I don't know. Probably just because he feeds her. But yeah, no, that's Emerald. She helped us find the camp.
Huh. Interesting. Lou?
I think so. That's who Rod is following now.
Oh. Oh, yeah. She's definitely not your pig then.
Is she Rodda's? I mean, technically she's a war boar, so
Probably. More than likely. That would explain why she's following your friend around.
I can always ask her later. And yes, I mean Everald, not Rodda.
Well, there's one way to know. If the two start talking.
Say it again?
If the two start talking, we'll know for sure.
Rada can't talk to Emerald. I can, but that's just because it's something my people can do. But
Well, if Rada's a follower of Lou now, and the pig's over there following her around, she probably can. She just doesn't know it. It'll be really funny when she finds out.
Yeah, it's
hey,
probably
considering how many
hilarious
times I'm
because
the person who can talk to the animals, I have to admit that would be really interesting to watch.
I do want to point out that what I said earlier about wanting to or regretting at times like these where she couldn't speak to animals like Brina, that
Hmm.
was half in character. Like the speaking with animals bit, yes, that was in character. The Disney princess thing, obviously not.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
It would be. Let's get the food to our friends.
Mm-mm.
We can figure out the pig situation. Oh, okay, so you guys head off. After Gorlos is done messing with poor Will, he turns to you, Emma, and he's like, so there's gonna be a meeting with Uther this morning. It's just gonna be with his generals, but more than likely there will be things that I need to relay to you. So just be ready for me to call you words for our own little meeting.
I'll be ready for you as soon as you need me.
Excellent. I expect nothing less. Mostly just because you have yet to let me down, so.
I certainly tried, my lord.
Not because I am a horrible leader who is very. He's like, just to make it clear to you, like, I'm not like a dictator. Not mistreating your friend.
I'm pretty sure Will has some expressions that very much disagree with that.
Emma, of course, already knows better. Gorlo has taught him to act like a noble, or at least was part of the group of people teaching him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Amor's probably gotten much more comfortable with at this point.
Speaking of, probably should make sure Uther actually woke up. Oh. Wow. So as much as I'd love to sit and chat, I should be like responsible or something. Or you could do it, Will. Will just like immediately stands up and walks off. Is that a yes? I'm gonna take that as a yes.
I mean, you'll definitely find out later.
The fact that we're having a meeting is, a good first step. We wouldn't want that to go sour.
That is true. And then Gorlos just freezes for a moment. He rolls his eyes. Sorry, that was the wife.
That bad, huh?
Kador has figured out he is just now tall enough to open the stable door.
Oh, those are always fun times.
Now we gotta like magically seal everything. But if Kador figures out how to magically undo it, it's we're screwed. Nothing like having
I
magical
relate with
children.
whoever has to go chase down the horses. I've definitely done it myself a few times.
Well, it's gonna be whatever stable boy is there right now. Honestly, I feel more bad for the person who has to try and chase Kador down. It is faster than a speeding arrow, I swear. He just
They run
the only
quickly and hide very well, especially when they're small.
he's actually not a good hider because he giggles the whole time thinking that he's gotten away.
How old is he now?
Oh,
Well, he's almost 5.
you'll figure out not to giggle in a couple of years, then you gotta really be nervous.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad he's out of the talkback phase. Though I wish Elaine were, but she's not. Everything, Elaine, you need to go to bed. No. Elaine, you need to eat your vegetables. No. Elaine, stop hitting your brother. No. Yeah. I missed the I can't talk yet phase. I can't walk yet phase. Children, it'll be fun.
I believe that.
I mean, there are moments. You should see how excited they get when I come home. Actually, half the time, Kador's more excited to see Amor, which honestly, not cool.
Oh no, that is entirely fair. Amber, you are awesome.
Thank you. Also, I don't know how I did this.
Nobody
His story.
I would imagine. I would
Trying
imagine
to
Amor.
become his favorite.
I imagine Amor. It was for the same reasons why you made such a good co-leader when you were still traveling with us.
You know,
Fair.
I bet you
don't think I'll ever stop using those skills.
I was gonna say, to be fair, I think we could trace it back to that one time you found that really shiny rock and gave it to him, and he was like, "You're a keeper." Kids and rocks, man.
At least it wasn't a stick. He would have been an instant favorite.
Yeah.
Why is this sounding like a particular individual that I know?
Yeah,
I
Dea
wanna know.
does use spears. She would use particularly pointy sticks.
Not who I was referring to, but you do make a good point.
I do know better than to give pointy sticks to those who aren't trained to use them, or training to use them.
So,
Although ideally you avoid making them pointy until after you're trained.
yeah, it is smart. I definitely have a scar somewhere from when I was playing with a pointy stick as a child that I probably should not have been. And I definitely did not trip and stab myself when I fell.
Oh yes, definitely. Didn't
Stop
happen.
making traps that day, my lord.
I also definitely did not tell anyone it happened. Though I highly suspect that my parents probably knew something had happened because I was definitely limping. But they chose to just let me suffer in silence. What can I say? Every parent has their own technique. Ugh. Anyway. Okay, well. As much as this has been fun, I probably should actually go make sure that Uther's up and not rely on Will to do it. That is not his job. That would me. highly unprofessional of me. So I will probably see you later, Erwin, I'm sure. And maybe the
I
rest
always
of you.
seem to be around.
Good. Don't disappear randomly again.
I can't make any guarantees.
I,
God, I could just like me places.
I mean, what is the name of our group? The Whims of Fate.
You have a name for your group?
I thought this was brought up the last time we were here. No, then again, that was
What?
4 years ago.
Yeah, I got dad brain. I'm lucky I can remember how to spell my name.
Yeah, we are called the Whims of Fate. Because we just seem to go along with the Whims of Fate. Like a boat without a rudder.
There you go. And I am Gorlois, according to Cador, spelled D-A-D.
Close enough.
At least he knows my name, so if for some reason he gets lost or kidnapped, he knows, who his parents are. I am kidding about the kidnapping. I mean, we're important, but hopefully not that important.
Will be to any person
We're
that is
gathering.
foolish enough to kidnap him.
That's exactly what I was
Oh, yeah, if they
I would
are,
pay for the kidnapping of Kador.
anyway, I'll see you later. And he will quickly leave.
Hammer will give a courteous farewell.
And as fate would have it, as he's leaving, Prince Urian walks in. And he stops and he's looking around and he goes, "Ah, I know you. You're that group that came all those years ago. And now you're back. Good to see you're alive."
We haven't died yet. Surprisingly.
Good. I feel like there's some missing. Isn't there a little one? Two little ones.
Yes.
Like a little one and a littler one.
Little one and a littler one.
The taller, littler one went off to find another one of ours.
Oh,
To deliver food.
well, that is very kind and courteous.
Should we be concerned that nobody knows where the other one is?
No. I'm sure it's fine.
The other little one,
Said no one ever about you.
we should be concerned because he is a leprechaun. But I think I might be one of the only
Right.
people that might be able to find him.
That's right. I think I saw him outside putting rocks in someone's shoes.
Some things never change.
I mean, there are certainly worse pastimes.
I mean, well, remember, it may have been 4 years for you. It was at most 2 months for us.
I'm not
Yeah, basically.
sure I understand how the positive thing works for you, but that's not how I understand it.
Magic.
Let's just say Faye and the other world have the other world's sense of time is
Well, I see
not
other world.
straightforward.
The brownies talk about it. Very frustrating.
Yes, and
Not that I should know anything about the brownies. They're supposed to stay hidden, but
yes, and the last one that you might remember but isn't here, we don't know where she is. Like, she got left behind in the other world.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Fortunate.
Well, one of our
Um,
members lost some memories and tried to run away, and I guess she got fed up with us and decided to stay back.
right. I'm tired of you kids.
Maybe not as unfortunate as one might think. You might be
We're
happier
gonna
now.
we're gonna take a pause with this group real quick and hop over to the Idea, Cadmus, Leoflid,
Yeah.
Brina.
Yeah.
Leoflid will lead the way into the armory. See you two just like howling there. Like, yeah.
But when they show up, Adea's probably just started settling in and figuring out what Cadmus and her will be up to today.
And did you forget something this morning?
Forget something. I'm pretty sure I've got all my tools.
Food?
Oh yeah, I am trying to be better about that.
You hear like
What
the
do you-
tinkering stop, and then Cadmus pokes his head out and he goes, "Oh, thank you, Leoflid."
Adea probably just looks over now. Wait, did you bring me?
I did bring you breakfast.
That's so nice of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Remember to go to the breakfast tent before the armory next time.
Okay, I will try to remember to be better tomorrow. But today it makes me more efficient, so I much appreciate it.
You're welcome.
To make sure none of you die from like lead poisoning, so you're going to bring yourselves over here, away from your equipment, and away from anything that may be toxic, and just eat over here. And then you won't get any food crumbs in your work either.
Efficiency.
He does have a point there. It's a good thing that we're just figuring things out, although Cadmus was a little further along.
I was really excited. Sorry. But you're right, I should eat something, otherwise I'll be very distracted. Because I just now noticed that I'm actually really hungry.
And this is why we brought you food.
Adea's probably already started to eat her food. I see no
Thank
issue
you.
with the excitement, though.
And he just like gently sets his
Very
tools
good.
down. Cadmus is really funny. He walks over like he's been scolded, even though he hasn't. He's just like,
She's used to this.
all right. Once it looks like they've settled down and started eating, Leoflin's like, "You're welcome to stay, Brina. I'm gonna head back. I don't need to watch them. I assume they're smart enough to finish their food."
Where is she heading back to?
Back to the food tent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll come with you.
So she doesn't know that Will left. She's like, I may need to rescue him.
Yeah, let me help you rescue. I wanted to try and help. There's a meeting going on this morning, so I don't think we'll be called into it necessarily, but I'll let you know what I hear. Enjoy your work.
Okay. Adea was like not even because they were talking. Adea wasn't really paying attention, and then she just like got the impression Brina was waiting for a response.
Did you hear a single thing I said?
Were you talking to me?
I was. It's okay. It's just
It's
smiling.
okay,
Like,
dear.
it's okay. There's a meeting this morning. We're probably not in it, so I'll let you know what I hear. But
Okay.
best of luck with your work.
Maybe they'll send us some orders. But that might get in the way of all the things that Cadmus and I were going to work on. But they do need the work, and it's fun stuff to do, so
I'll let you
we'll
know
figure
if
it
they
out.
mention anything.
I just get the impression that as Brina and Leoflin are leaving, Idea is still talking to herself about this, just like planning it all. And then Cadmus is just like throwing things in here and there.
Yep.
Like you're having a conversation, but not actually having a conversation.
And soon enough, Cadmus and Adea are back to talking to each other about the things that they're going to accomplish today.
As long as you're taking bites of food during the conversation, I don't care.
Yeah, I like the fact that Ade has a high passive perception and insight, yet is completely oblivious to things going on around her.
Yep.
Constantly
She
chooses to fail.
absolutely can know if she will focus. The problem is getting her to focus.
Someone do me a favor. Can you give me a high or low?
Somebody.
Anybody. Somebody.
Low.
Hi.
Excellent. I love it.
What have we done?
Next time I'm gonna ask for middles. A 6 to 15.
Anyway, so you get back. You as you're getting closer, you actually can see Gorlos has left. He's actually decent ways off, heading what it looks like in the direction of Uther's tent.
Mhm.
But he's the only one you see outside the tent. Leothla just goes, huh, maybe we won't have to rescue Will.
Maybe not, but we can go and see if Rod has figured out she can talk to Emerald yet.
Yes, this will be fun. Let's go find out.
Ah,
I'm sorry. We've had so precious little to have fun with. I need some form of entertainment that isn't me feeling bad about Cadmus forgetting to eat again.
That's pretty bad if that's the entertainment.
Does that happen?
Huh?
How often did that happen?
Oh, every day. Every day I have known the man.
He needs a wife.
We just take turns. But then Emrys got in charge and he's been pill. And then Will has been kind of trying to pick up slack and it's driving him crazy. And he's just like, they're just so busy. And now it's fallen onto me to make sure our last friend doesn't die of starvation because he's just too distracted.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it again. Cadmus needs a wife.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
If nothing else, to make sure he eats.
yeah,
To make
I don't know. I, as a player, can only see like because their personalities are so similar. If they were a little older, it'd be the two of them.
But you forget how much Chris liked her. Atlantean.
See, that's not the real problem. In the current age that we're talking about, Idea is plenty old enough to be an adult. The
And
problem is that Idea is an Amazon, and they do not take relationships like that lightly.
Not to
They
mention,
typically don't get into them.
not to mention, since Brina's mentioning that Cadmus needs a wife to make sure he eats, probably not a good idea to match him up with somebody who also forgets to eat.
No longer can create food on the spot.
He's like, I've got to find a way to make this not a problem anymore.
Well, it's like, I guess the other situation would be it's like the two of you interacted enough. Why don't you just marry him? But that would be a disaster.
Now I just have this image in my head of Idea coming up to Rod and be like, hey, I need you to talk to your god about helping me do this one thing because I need to be able to make food again. Otherwise, I may never eat again. So,
Yes, Idea, the responsible one.
Working on it.
Well, it's a was a negative. It's either a negative feedback loop or a positive feedback loop where Idea only remembers to eat and then uses create food, but the food tastes bland, so she doesn't want to use it. So she forgets to use it until she needs to eat. Cycle continues.
Maybe this is what changes it if she could still do it. She creates food, and after like several days of doing this, Cadmus and Idea are like, okay, we can make food again. But it's awful.
Like they're forced to go out and socialize with other people. It's only because they need the spice of life, literally.
They need to hear.
Yeah. But you know,
No, they need a rosemary plant inside their garden.
Okay, but you have to. The next level that makes this funnier for me is the fact that if the only reason they have to get out and socialize is because the food that she makes is so bland, they're going from that to English food.
It won't get much better.
Cadmus honestly might not notice the
That-
difference.
For me, what's funny is that it tells me how bad create food and water can be.
Oh no
It's
no 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 no
British
no!
food.
Create
It's
food
better.
water creates British food.
Good point. Good point.
What's funny is I don't
But-
really mind British.
But see, at least the British occasionally get at least a semblance of something. I assume that like create food and water just like tastes like cardboard, but
No,
at least occasionally you can get like fish and chips or lamb sauce out of the
Fish and
British.
no. What I'm guessing is that it's even worse. It's like MREs, the military rations that are down. Yeah, exactly. We know what I'm talking about. Military rations. That's what it is. Those things are
Actually-
awful.
Actually, I always imagined create food and drink to be more like you get 2 buckets. If one of them fills with water, the other fills with this powder stuff, and you're supposed to mix the two together and just and drink and mostly drink it like a really ground up oatmeal or something.
You're telling me it's a
Ugh.
protein shake because protein powder is disgusting.
Yeah, something like that, but it's absolutely tasteless.
So you're eating and drinking at the same time.
It only becomes edible once you've reached high enough levels where you can be like, no, we're having roast turkey tonight.
Hey, Heroes Feast is a thing.
There you go. Like, when did you learn this? Just found it up my sleeve one day.
I got so fed up with bland food.
One night I went to sleep and had a dream, and it was a dream so good because it meant the food would be better.
That's
And I
nice.
knew I had to
Do you
read it.
remember the taste of strawberries?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. That's even better than what I was thinking, which is that was the best baguette I ever had.
You guys walk inside the tent. And Will and Gorlos have been replaced with Prince Urian. But everybody else is still the same.
I was gonna say, like, oh, like I think seeing Prince Urian, I'm just like,
Oh,
Emma probably asked Prince Urian how the training was going at this point.
like Brina's like excited to say hello, but also just like all of a sudden kind of shy for some reason. It's like, hi.
What are Prince Urian's languages?
He's
Not fake.
Scottish. Yeah, he's not fake.
he speaks Scotty and Gaelic and Kimry and Latin.
So Amrast speaks to him with Latin.
So we're
Because there's
playing.
no Brythonic in there.
We're playing linguistic musical chairs.
Again.
Someone really needs to get around to teaching her in Latin.
I've been putting this off for too long.
Well, you're constantly traveling with Rada and Idea. Yeah. Idea is a coin flip. Rada would teach you if you asked.
You know
Wait,
what?
we had 2 weeks to literally travel.
Brayden, should roll me a percentage dice. We're gonna see how much you picked up just from listening to them talk to other people in this language. So there may be a few words.
Is it Erden in Latin?
I mean, you can too. You've been around the same people listening to the same words.
And Amber was doing it before Adea was here. Probably more than Adea was doing it.
What we got?
That is a 16.
16 on percentage dice, thank you.
Okay, and Ernest?
72.
Oh,
You have a high school understanding.
for you, Idea, or Idea, Brina,
Brina.
sorry. Yep.
I probably recognize that it's
I don't-
Latin, and that's it.
You started recognizing greetings.
Yeah.
It's not as guttural as some of the other languages you've heard, but it still feels very guttural to you because Fae is such a flowing sing-song language.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying a lot because it's not like Latin's very guttural, but it does have lots of hard consonants and things in there that you're just not used to. And so, like, you recognize very basic words. You're pretty sure you can say hello and goodbye in Latin.
Salve and salvete.
And maybe,
Away,
maybe my name is.
May no
But you're not sure if you know how to conjugate it right. You might say, your name is.
So, to Nolman est.
Erden, you've picked up several phrases. You can definitely say, like, you could have an introductory conversation. You could do, like, hello, my name is, it's nice to meet you. I'm from such and such a place. And, like, there's random words. Like, you could probably say horse or boat or
I'd be
sword.
really amused if some of Adea's favorite words have just become clear at this point because you're just like, yes, I've heard Adea talk about swords and forges and iron enough times.
Yeah, exactly. Like, those types of words, you're like, they are talking about forge stuff. Got it.
How is this? How is this occurring with the stones that translate for us?
So you can still, like, so you know how with the glamour, you guys can see the outline of the glamour? You're still kind of hearing, almost as though it's a little muffled, the other language.
So it's like when they're giving
Also,
conference talks
basically
and
every time
translating
we
it.
talk in Latin, we're talking to somebody else who doesn't have the stones, so you get a lot from the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. So you're still able to pick things up. A lot of it's just going over Brina's head.
It's a lot of things.
Wait,
No,
I had to.
No, that's fine.
wait, we can have two lingua francas.
Margo,
in the
did you
group.
literally just get that?
Yes, I literally just got that. It took me a second.
I was watching your face once you got it, though.
You know, it bounced off the wall and then into my face.
Awesome. Yeah, because, like, but as Leopold and I, like, enter in, I'm pretty sure, because, like, that was Brina's reaction to seeing Prince Urian because it's somebody that she does know, but I think she remembers that she doesn't know how to talk to him, I think. but at the same time, it's like, does anyone notice her awkwardness other than Rana?
Urian does. I think I can't remember. There was something for. Yeah, because you met him on your own the first time, and I think that he cast a spell so that he could talk to you.
Or
Okay.
That or may have been like a very broken form of Fae because if I'm remembering correctly, you said that where he was from, it was somewhat close to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does not take him long to get to sacred spots, sacred spaces. Plus the brownies.
Yeah.
He keeps up the conversation with the brownies. So it might have been broken. Yeah, we'll go with the broken. He's just like, hang on. And he says a few words in what Erden you'll recognize as Druidic. And then he's like, there, I can talk to you. And you will understand him. I have gotten very good at this spell because there are lots of people here that I cannot speak their language.
Yeah.
Very good spell to have.
Very,
Yes.
very used to that.
Tell me about it. I mean, I'm really good at picking up languages. Some of them, no offense, but Saxon is one of them. It's just like I can't while I speak.
I don't blame you.
Is Brythonic a Germanic language?
No,
Brythonic?
it's a
No,
Celtic language.
A
Celtic
Celtic language. Okay.
Yeah. English is Germanic, but they but we
It came over with the Ingles,
yeah.
who are not there yet.
Yeah.
So what we understand to
They came
be
from the
Old English was actually Anglo-Saxon.
Kind of mooshed the two together. Because
So
I'm pretty
Eridan speaks more English than any of the rest of us.
yes. Would we be able to understand him? Not a shot in hell. We have
But he'd be the quickest to figure it out.
would be like, that's
Doesn't
Germanic.
Eridan know Gaulois as well?
Yes.
Which is ancient French.
It's not
No.
actually ancient French, it's also Celtic. Ancient French
Yeah.
is Frankish.
Interesting.
Well, so
There were a lot of Celtic tribes.
yeah. So
And
yeah, as a language nerd, the Latin really superseded the Celtic in Iberia and Gaul. So then that's where Spanish, Portuguese, and French came from, and also Provence. I think it was Provence. I know that's the area, but not necessarily the language.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it's called.
When the Germanic Franks came in, they didn't. Their language didn't supersede the the vulgar Latin spoken there. They actually took it in, and that's why French is Romance. The Anglo-Saxons, they basically, well, Latin hadn't taken enough root, and also the Celts were enough of a problem that Latin didn't take effect, and also it's just the people really didn't get along. So when the Anglo-Saxons were in the high positions, they kicked all the Celts out into Wales and Cornwall.
Yeah. And it was really like two successions because the Saxons took over first and then the Angles took over the Saxons, which is why it became Anglo-Saxon. They were two separate groups that just kind of got mooshed together when the Angles were like, we're better. And
Take the French out, we tried to be fancier, and so we took stuff from Latin to try and make our language cooler because we didn't want the French influence anymore, which is why English is a mess.
Yeah.
A lovable mess, but
I actually saw a video on this some time ago, but I don't remember if I'm the one that watched it or it's just something I happened to watch while my dad was watching Sunday.
yeah. Either way, that poor little island is a mess.
a lovable mess, but a mess.
Yeah. And we're a couple of years off from the Vikings having a effect on the language.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Because why not throw in some Norse while we're at it?
Yep.
Or just
Okay, so
yeah.
Prince Urian has a druidic spell on himself to be able to talk to me. And
Yes.
Saxon is a language he doesn't quite get.
No. He can recognize it, but he cannot speak it back in his language. Nope. My mouth does not work that way. And then Leoth is just like, Brina, I know you're excited, but we were gonna do something fun.
You just ask Emerald.
I heard my name. What?
Does Rhonda know she can talk to you?
I don't know. She won't talk to me. Why won't you talk to me?
Am I hearing this?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So, Rana
Just
hears that as she's like a part of a different conversation. Lou. I'm sorry. What?
Why won't you talk to me? Don't you like me?
I'm not used
I
to
don't think-
speaking with boars.
Well, I don't think she realized she could talk to you. I don't think it's anything personal.
I see we're learning new things today.
You should talk to Lou.
Evidently.
You should talk to Bright Shiny Pig more. He said that I needed to stay with you now. That we'd be able to talk and be friends.
I'm assuming that Brina's fully in on this conversation because she understands Emerald.
Yes. And Leah Flint has no idea what's going on, but she's just like,
Okay, if that's going to be the case, we are going to need to get you some extra protection.
oh, yes. We talked to friend who likes shiny things.
You mean the
Friend-
friend with the darker skin?
Yes, very tall one.
Yeah.
On 2 legs.
Tall one,
Oh,
two
yeah.
legs, dark skin,
Wait.
white hair, or white fur.
Yes. What? Fur? No.
No, not fur.
I wasn't sure you knew the difference between hair and fur.
Hair is long and stringy. Fur is fluffy.
Okay then.
Very accurate.
Ern just leans over to Amor's like, so is this what it's like to be the person who doesn't know what's going on when someone talks to their horse or something?
Garian. Yes.
Probably.
Now that you're one to talk, you speak with your horse.
Yes,
but then
that's what I was comparing to.
Very weird.
I was gonna say, what is Terturian's reaction to this? Because I mean, Leoflit's obviously rapt attention watching the ping pong back and forth and watching Rada's discomfort.
I was actually just about to give you a Isby pun. I talk to birds sometimes. They, yes. I don't know. Some of those birds, their language is very, very close to Celtic languages, so I can just, druid stuff, talk to them. I really, really like talking to the warblers. Because they're all sing-songy and all over the place. They don't have a lot of
experiences on the mainland. Would she know what a warbler is?
possibly. Oh, too late. What's name? Where are you? Oh, yes. Yes. You would know what a warbler is.
Okay.
Your warblers may look different from their warblers. And by
Yeah, I
may,
would
I
say-
mean they. You know what a warbler is.
What if your warblers are different than ours?
I mean, they are little singing birds.
Yeah, well, ours are little and sing, but I think. I'm not sure which. Oh, okay. Thank you. Like, ours are little and sing too, but they could look different. The birds like different feathers in different places.
I mean, Some of them are colorful and some are not. Some are drab. And some I
Yes,
have no
Grandpa's
idea
got the
because
prettiest voices.
yes.
All right. Like after like this kind of burst of conversation, Brino will just kind of go back to being like a little bit awkward and like, and back to Emerald.
Oh, does anyone know what time it is?
Hammer will start like analyzing the sky and spit something pretty close out.
Mid to later morning.
Yes, probably should go. I'm supposed to be at Uther stand. Hopefully this bodes good news. So, it is
Hope
good
so.
to see you. And he will get up and make his way out. Well, that was entertaining.
Yes, let's go talk to Uday about getting build some armor.
Yee! What is armor?
Um, it's like extra layer of skin, but it's very hard.
It's probably heavy.
Oh. Okay. Is
For
it
second
shiny?
of the war for.
Yes.
It could be like shiny.
It can be shiny, yes.
Ooh. Let's go get shiny armor.
So, Rada begins to like head out before she like stops and like turns to like Erden Leopolis. So you know how I have a I'm now following Lou.
Yep.
I was thinking of getting possibly getting a wardrobe change.
We're gonna have
I was getting a makeover.
our makeover montage.
I was getting a
Do you want
glow
us to set something up?
He seems quite wise if you're following an EVA.
I won't disallow you from doing that if you want. I'm just saying this is some things that I am thinking about. I'm just one woman and don't really know fully yet what.
I could send you in the direction of the druids that do follow Lou so you can get some ideas.
Okay. So, I will make note that I am not getting rid of my current hellberg because one, it's sentimental. Two, do you know how expensive purple dye is?
I do.
Yes.
No.
Why is purple so expensive? Or dare
You
I
can't
ask?
find it.
You have to very special rocks to do it. And they're very rare.
Yeah, let's
Yep,
see.
that makes sense.
Someone give me high or low.
Low.
See, that's a double zero on the D100.
Did you get the 0 on the 10?
So.
Either really low or really, really high.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put this in the like the roleplay chat as to what the numbers I got were. So those are the two numbers I got on my D100.
Okay, so that is 2.
And you said low?
Yep.
Tong said once that purple dye was made from a type of mollusk? A type of snail? that only the Phoenicians know how to do anything with.
But snails are pretty plentiful in the ocean.
It
But
was
I guess if it's one specific type of snail, that makes a difference. I'm assuming
Probably.
Brito would know what a snail is.
Yes.
I want to talk to a snail.
So pretty universal stuff: snails, fish, crabs.
Yeah. Sorry, I just now really want to talk to a snail. Talking up to me like enjoying talking to the weird creatures that we come across, like the dodo birds, the pygmy elephants.
New secondary quest accepted. Talk to a snail.
Maybe wait a minute. The snails, maybe I can help get the dye better? Is that how that works? Or do the snails have to die to get the dye?
They probably have to die.
Yeah.
No one should take me out hunting for those snails then. I'd tell them all to flee.
So we should definitely take you along then.
I mean, not since they could go very fast.
Or snails.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd be trying to protect the snails, Erden. The purple is beautiful, but I don't like that the snails have to sacrifice for it. Not mention completely out of character, those snails in the process of making purple, it's stank. It smells so badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
like you get this gorgeous color, but the smell.
Dominic, if you will roll me like 3 or 4 craft checks while Idea is working hard at work,
Yes.
just so we can see how much progress you're making.
Yeah, and
Um,
that eventually Rada's going to make her way over there to talk with Idea Cad.
Let's see here.
Cad's a little distracted.
What kind of craft checks? I have 5 of them.
What are your different ones? I guess depends on what.
Jewelry, swords, arrowheads, spearheads, and masonry. I also have profession checks for blacksmithing, jeweling, and masonry.
Let's do let's do okay, because you're wanting to fashion a sword, right?
Yeah,
Out of that.
the special project for Cadmus and I is to fashion a special sword that does that cool, both absorbs and can be magical and also reflect magic by the just right amount of iron.
You said you had a craft sword?
I do have a craft specifically for swords, yes.
Okay, so go ahead and start with a profession blacksmithing, and then we'll do like 3 crafting with the sword.
All right. So I rolled 3, so I'll put those down as my crafts, and then I'll do the blacksmithing, and then I'll give them to you in the correct order.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just came up with something potentially funny. but I'll wait for you to get this done.
All right. Blacksmithing is a 24.
Okay.
And then my 3 craft check are an 11, a 20, and a 15.
Excellent. So both of you do pretty well with getting the smithy set up, getting everything ready as you need it. You are a lot less distracted than Cad. For whatever reason, Cad is not entirely with it. He seemed with it this morning, but now he's like making mistakes and you're having to fix them. Like, it's not annoying mistakes, it's just little things. But you don't remember him being quite so mistake ridden before.
Usually he made me feel like I was still learning.
Yeah. Not sure what's changed.
Dea's
Other than
like, don't forget that. Don't forget that. That's going to be important. You don't want to miss that.
right. He's just like, snap. He's getting a little frustrated with himself.
Something bothering you, or are you just still trying to get into the flow?
No, I'm fine. Okay, that's all. I'm fine.
That looks very shifty, doesn't Dea notice?
Give me an insight.
Okay. Actually lower than her passive. I rolled a 15. Her passive's an 18.
Gotcha. This is definitely high enough. Is he nervous? Why is he nervous? He's good at this. But he's acting very much like somebody who's a little on edge. Like he's got like the sweaty palms. You keep seeing him drop things. He's stuttering while he speaks.
Is it because we're working with materials you're unfamiliar with?
Well, this molybdenum thing is just really throwing me off. Did I say it right this time?
Pretty sure you said it right.
Yeah. Molybdenum. It was the kid's element last week.
Yep.
He is definitely not looking at you as he says this, though. He's like very focused on what he's looking at right now and working on.
Adea will stop for just a moment and be like, Cadmus, I get we only have the little bit that I bought. But also, I've done sillier things. And she'll pull the amulet that she has up and say, I made this for a wedding. I just like turned gold coins into it. Like,
Really?
yes.
Why?
Because I had to wear nice things for the wedding that they made it. That was, didn't someone say that was like 4 years ago? Anyways, we had to go to the wedding. I had to wear nice clothes. They put me in a dress. I had to play the part.
I
It
mean,
wasn't fun. At least a Greg helped me out.
I'm sure you look lovely.
The Green seemed to think so, and I trust her opinion.
She has a pretty good opinion of most things. Actually, it's 10 o'clock, so I think I'm gonna stop. Good role playing today.
And I'm just sitting here like, Brina, I'm like, I'm missing out on so many stories right now. Somebody please tell me the story of Kador liking Amber better than his dad.
Emmer gets to be the cool uncle.
Amber is the cool uncle. Amber's the best.
So, the funny idea I got was pretty much like putting on not necessarily a fashion show, but it's like an outfit showcase with Rada, but having like in the audience like Lou just literally just like eating popcorn while doing this because creative, get creative.
I'm doing that too. It's like, be creative. Come, be creative.
I love Adea trying to reassure Cadmus that she's made other silly financial decisions before. We'll do our best and it'll be okay if it doesn't work out.
Me having the sneaking suspicion that Brina's comment of Cadmus needing a wife probably influenced the DM more than I'd like to admit.
I'm hoping I didn't have as much of an influence as I'm beginning to worry I had.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait for next session where Ern and Leafa just kind of look at each other like, so we're definitely putting on a fashion show, right? Yes, it's good.
I want to see that. I was gonna say because I'm still I'm still back in the breakfast tent with Leopold and Airden, so I'm gonna be.
Well, well, it might be like Leoflid was complaining about being bored.
Mhm.
It might raise some morale to see something special.